Welcome to Screener to Stream It,
where we take a look at a movie that's in theaters now
versus one you can stream at home,
and we try to decide which one should you go with.
This week on Screener to Stream It, we saw it.
Wait, what did we see?
It.
No, I know, that's what I'm asking you. What did we go see? It's been days ago, I can't remember.
The movie was called It.
Yes! It. We did. We saw it.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
Anyway, It is a story about a group of young boys and eventually one young lady that are probably our main character. I don't know. They're kind of a good group, kind of equally.
Yeah.
I don't know if he would be our main protagonist, but we'll call him the main protagonist. His little brother is taken by Pennywise the clown, or It. And children from all over the town start disappearing. One after another. Some people seem to maybe know what's going on, but most don't, especially the young children. They have no idea. And the kids take it amongst themselves to go on an adventure and try to find the missing brother. When they do, they run into Pennywise again, and he is killing his way and terrifying his way through the children, and they're trying to find a way to get the children back that he's taken, and they're trying to at the same time stop the clown and survive themselves. It's a really good, it's a horror movie, but it's an adventure movie. And well, I guess before we get to that, what will we rate it?
Well, it really didn't take us as much thought on this one. We all the way 5 stars.
And I don't think we've given one 5 stars.
It's been a while for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, I want to start by saying I don't like horror movies, and I used to. They used to be my favorite genre of movie. I loved horror movies.
And I can see why. There's thrills, there's chills, that get you on the edge of your seat, get your blood pumping.
And that's why I don't like them anymore, because they don't.
Oh.
And I think, I thought it was the new movies. I thought maybe they just don't know how to do it anymore. But I've even gone back and watched some of the old ones that I loved, and they're just not scary anymore. And I think I've just sadly become desensitized to it. And if you don't have those like horror chills and thrills, a lot of times there's nothing else there.
Yeah.
This is a horror movie. Stephen King based horror movie.
Oh yes.
I sat and watched it, and it had some jump scares. I kind of jumped, I flinched. But at the same time, the terror, the dread, the suspense is just not there for me anymore. And I still give this movie 5 stars. It's just that good of a movie. Not necessarily a horror movie. Now, I do think, based on the lady that was sitting behind us, that it was a very scary movie.
Yes, I was going to give her a shout out if you didn't. No idea who she was for context, but she was sitting back behind us a little bit, and oh my gosh, she made it so much more fun than it would have been without her there.
We need to figure out who that is and invite her to every horror movie we watch.
Absolutely.
She made it 10 times better. Normally, I hate when people talk during the movie or make noise during the movie, but she made it so much better.
So yeah, lady, if you were there, if you saw us, call me. We'll work something out.
Oh, but yeah, she was terrified. There was screaming. There was some bad language at a few points.
But it was always appropriately placed, because I was feeling to a little lesser extent than she was, I guess, because I didn't cry out quite as much. I mean, I didn't cry out at all, because I'm, fortitude. But I might have once or twice.
I guess the point is, I think I can see where it would be a scary movie, especially if you don't like clowns.
Oh, yeah.
It definitely could be a terrifying movie. I'm just not the person to judge that. And I'm not saying, it's not a macho, things don't frighten me. That. It's just the horror movies don't do anything for me anymore. But if you take the horror movie out of it, the kids are great.
The kids were fantastic. Every one of them.
You get a great, they have their own backstory. They have their own character development. They have their own arcs.
their own hopes and fears, and that goes a lot to getting you to know a character or a person, for that matter, because you connect with them that way.
And one of the horror themes is that Pennywise knows what their fears are, and he tries to manifest for each kid their own fear to be that much more terrifying.
Yeah.
And he does that, and but like I said, that's the part. Like, I look at stuff, and I guess I'm too cynical or too mean now. I have no idea. But I can look at something and go, oh, that's supposed to be scary, but that's really cool. Like, I like that. And something else I thought they did really, really well was, a comedy movie, sometimes the trailer gives away the funniest parts. And as a horror movie, I was kind of scared that they had given away, these are our good scares.
The best.
And these are the creepiest parts. And they kind of did, but at the same time they didn't, because I didn't realize it until we watched the movie. But everything that was in the trailer was in the movie, but they cut them off like 10 seconds too early in the trailer. Like, there was more. Everyone, like, oh, that's creepy. Oh, there's more. And I thought that was a really great way to do it, because you got the creepy stuff in the trailer, but you also got it in the movie and hadn't seen it, because there was, but wait, there's more.
Yeah.
And I thought that was done really well.
And back to the kids. I like adventure movies in general, like the great people go do great things, the epic adventures. This is not an epic adventure in any case. It's a small hometown
scale,
adventure. But those can be just as good if the characters are worth coming for. And in this case, the kids all delivered, and hats off to the director and everybody who worked with these kids. They were all perfect. And it was just you were just so invested in every single one of them, and it made it a really fun ride, just that little adventure. And I've come to really appreciate that as a genre, which a lot of them from the 80s, which this was set in the 80s, so that kind of worked, of the kid adventure movies.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think I appreciated them when I was a kid in the 80s,
I did.
but I do much more now, and it's really wonderful, and it's nice to see that those can still be made well.
Well, and I got to give props to the actors and to the director, because
Absolutely.
the kids weren't necessarily, like, they weren't angels. You like those kids.
Yeah.
But they can be turds, and they can be, mean-spirited, but at the same time, you still really like them.
They're not bad. They're just not angels.
But I think that's a great, that's a great testament to good directing, to good acting,
And good writing, of course.
Oh, yeah. But man, like, that's something I got. And it's kind of weird from an adult perspective now, because when I was a kid during the 80s. So when all of these 80s action adventure movies were coming out about kids, I was watching it, and that was like, I could vicariously live through that, because I was the same age. Like, ooh, I want to do that. I want to be part of that adventure.
Yeah.
Where now I'm an adult, and looking back, like, that's way gone, but I still had a good time going on the adventure with them.
Yeah.
And I hadn't realized how much I had missed that adventure. You just don't get that anymore.
Not as much. And I don't know if it's something about the 80s, and it may be just we got a nostalgia factor here, but it seems like kid adventure movies, because they still make them, but the ones that are contemporary with all the tech and the cell phones and stuff, they are missing something. I don't know, they just don't speak to me at all. And I found it interesting. They've done a couple in the last 5-10 years that are set in the 80s that have been really great, and somehow that adventure spirit still lives. So,
well, that's what we talked about that. Like, if you set a Western in modern times, it just doesn't work. You can't do things.
It worked with Firefly, though.
Well, that was set in the future. It's
okay, that's a point taken.
It would have worked if it's high fantasy, and we don't have to believe it.
Okay, that's fair.
But there's things you can't do now that you could do then, and I think it's the same for the 80s.
Yeah.
The kids they get together and they go wander.
Yeah.
And I just don't.
Which in a small town in the 80s,
yeah,
you do that.
Wander. I don't think you do that now. You wander and you don't come back. It's just it's a different world we live in.
Or they're just in the house on the tablet all day, just
if they don't want to go.
Right, exactly.
But no, I think being set in the 80s made it, even though it's a horror movie and fanciful, it made it plausible. Like, I didn't question it. I just bought that the kids were out doing their thing. I almost hate the fact that this is a horror movie. My wife refused to go see it. She's like, no, not going to do it.
Yep.
Because it's a horror movie. And I came in after we got back, and I was like, you should have seen this. And she's like, no. But like I said, I don't think we've given anything 5 stars. This is one, everybody I've met, I'm like, have you seen it yet? You need to see it. It's just that good. And I don't think I realized it. We got done watching it, and I went, man, that was, for a horror movie, that was fun. I really enjoyed it. And I got home, and I did that when you watch a really good TV series and then it's over and there's no more,
and you feel sad.
It's sad, that lonely, that what am I going to do with my life feeling. Like, I got that after this movie.
Yeah.
Like, I come home and I was like, I want more. Like, it's over.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there'll be sequels, but it did well at the box office. I'm sure there will be sequels.
Yeah.
Hopefully done just as well as this one. But yeah, I'm kind of sad. Like, and then I start hunting, and like, I need more. Give me more. Where's more? And I can't find it. I also thought there was some bad kids. So you had the good group of kids,
right,
and they were
kind of our heroes.
Junior high-ish, like 12, 13 maybe.
Yeah, about that.
There. And then you had kind of some ruffian kids that were 15, 16-ish. Thought they did a really good job.
I loved to hate them the whole time.
Oh yeah, you don't like, they're bullies. But they do a good job at being the bullies. And there were a lot of little things put in there that I wasn't expecting, that I was like, that's clever, that done really well. The TVs come to mind. Throughout the entire movie, Pennywise was affecting the TVs, and most people didn't even seem to
they didn't seem
pay attention. He was just on in the background, but as someone would walk through, he would be saying something or doing something on the TV in the background, because he is just fundamentally a part of this town. He is everywhere. And
it's brilliant that, and I don't know, I have not read the book, but I think it's brilliant. They didn't really explain exactly what he is. You don't know if he's some kind of demonic apparition, or you don't really know. I mean, I know,
but I don't think you need to.
My wife, no, you don't need to for the story, and it's better to leave the mystery, I think. Of course, my wife's read all the Dark Tower series, and she told me it's some level of that, which again, I don't know. But I thought it was fantastic, that mystery, because that kind of makes it scarier in a way. You don't know what it is you're fighting exactly, so it's, how do you kill it if you don't even know what it is? So it's pretty cool.
Well, most of my favorite horror movies start out that way, and then you kind of eventually... Freddy Krueger in the first Nightmare on Elm Street, no idea what he is or what he's doing, and as it goes, throughout the movie, you kind of piece it together,
right? Which makes sense, and that can work. I've seen that go really well, and I've seen it go really badly.
And the first Friday the 13th didn't actually have Jason; it had his mom. But the second Friday the 13th, it kind of starts out, and you get deeper and deeper into the character and what he's doing, and maybe they'll do that with Pennywise. I'm sure we'll have to at some point get little tidbits and figure out what's going on there. I cannot express how much you need to go see this. I can't express how good it is.
Yes, in fact, go see this movie. Absolutely go see this movie.
Yeah.
You will not regret it.
5 stars is go see it. I will say it did benefit from being in the theater. Not necessarily, I don't think any of the, there was no super special effects that were so grandiose that, it must be seen on the big screen, but it benefited from
definitely
the lady behind us.
Yeah, the crowd experience is a shared, because
I kind of wish we'd have gone on
nearer opening night or on opening night, because the crowd response is really a bigger part of that one.
And like I said, I'm kind of sad that I'm not scared anymore, and I can at least live vicariously through the other people as they were. It sounds dumb, but yeah.
Well, and one final thought I've got. One of the things I think that makes most horror movies not work so well, especially for you since you're kind of desensitized to them, is a lot of them depend on just the frightening moments to carry the whole thing. And this one did not. I mean, it had them, yes, but it had so much else that made it a very rich and interesting story that it stood on its own without the scary stuff. And
No,
that,
if you didn't have if you didn't have Pennywise in this, like in my mind, somebody could take this and just cut out everything with him.
just have the kids' summer adventure.
Yeah,
and it's still
except,
fun.
Except for the fact there would be no resolution because
Well,
the
yeah.
resolution comes from him. But just take the parts with the kids without the scary, and it's them trying to solve the mystery of the disappearing little brother and trying to stop from being attacked by the bullies, and I mean, it's just really, really good. And I'm going to have a really hard time with our recommendations because I got like 8 of them.
Oh, no.
And it's not a...
Okay, so since you brought that up, I have to ask if these wonderful people who are watching are not going to take our advice and go see this movie, what would you recommend?
All right, I want you to go first because if you hit one of the 8, that's great. And that
Okay.
way I won't steal yours
Well-
if you have something specific you want to...
I'm going to be cheap, and I've got 2 of them. Well,
All right, do 'em.
I've
Do
got
'em.
one movie and then one not movie.
Yeah.
But it is streaming. Okay, so the first thing I thought of closest to it is Stranger Things, which...
And I didn't want to say it while we were talking about it, but
Right.
we couldn't stop saying Stranger Things. It even
Yeah.
has one of the kids from
Yeah.
Stranger Things. But it's Stranger Things, the movie.
It really is. And, of course, it was written first. Stranger Things says recently. But it's a lot of that same vein of mysterious disappearing children, weird stuff going on,
Set in
and
the
this kind of
80s,
band
done
of kids.
well.
Yeah, set in the 80s, done very well. Definitely go watch Stranger Things. It's a Netflix original, I think, streaming. So definitely go
The
see
new
that
one
one.
comes out in a couple
I'm
of
so
weeks, season
excited.
2.
Okay, so if you want a real movie though, I'm going to go with Super 8.
Oh, I didn't even think about that one.
I will say Super 8 is not quite as well done as it. I liked it. I liked it a lot. But it just... I don't know. It to me feels like it's a little more than the sum of its parts, whereas Super 8 pretty much is the sum of its parts, which is good. It was good. It's just... There's a little more with it, I think. But Super 8's kind of a similar thing, except I think there was like a downed alien spacecraft or something. I don't know. It was pretty mysterious. But then the kids are trying to solve the riddle and weird stuff's happening. And again, set in the 80s, so it's kind of an 80s kid adventure. All right.
Super 8 kind of fell apart for me at the end. So,
I
I
didn't
think
think
of that when I was
It
going
got
to say
weird.
Stranger Things. The Explorers.
I tried to watch that, but it wasn't on Netflix anymore.
Sad. But it's not a horror movie at all, but I'm so going with the Goonies. And we talked about this, the kid adventure, the 80s, man, same feel, at least from the kids' part. The Goonies, to me, is one of the greatest movies ever made. Like, you need to see the Goonies.
Is there a greater kid adventure movie than The Goonies?
No, I don't think so. I can't come up with one. So go watch the Goonies.
Definitely.
Well, that's it for us, I guess.
Yeah. Thank you very much for watching Screener to Stream It.
And remember, don't take your kids to the movies on Tuesday nights because that's when we go.